This horse did something unexpected as soon as he saw a girl. The owner had a hard time to keep the girl in control. The next thing he knew, Phantom, the horse, jumped out of the pen and ran towards the girl. But what was going on? Before we start, subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell, and like this video. The owner Matthew had no idea what that day would bring. His only thought was that he was happy because Phantom, his colt, was going to his first race. Matthew was busy preparing for the big day, so he didn't notice that a young woman had come in. Phantom is rarely upset, but when he saw the girl, he was tense. Matthew had never seen his horse act like that before. Things went crazy with Phantom, and people nearby were scared from the actions of this horse. Matthew tried to get control of Phantom while the animal was running around the pen, but Phantom wouldn't listen, neither obey to his owner. Soon, to the shock of all the people present, he jumped out of the cage. Everyone was scared. He was running toward the young woman with all he got. Matthew still didn't understand what was going on. Phantom would never hurt someone, so why did he want to attack and hurt this girl? The wild horse walked up to the girl and stopped right next to her. Just for a second, Matthew thought that his crazy actions were finally over, but he was so wrong. What came next might even be more shocking. Without any fuss, the girl jumped on Phantom's back and began riding the horse around the area. This young woman and the horse were gone before the young man could even figure out what was going on with his horse and who the girl is. Matthew was shocked as he watched the horse move away. He chose to call the cops because it was the right thing to do. In the end of the day, a girl was stealing his horse. He told the cops what he witnessed in his ranch and all about what happened, but the cops were not prepared to treat it as a theft immediately. The horse didn't resist to go with the girl. Finally, they chose to let the people know about the horse and ask them to keep an eye and inform the owner if they see the horse. After getting dozens of reports and sightings, they were able to figure out that the woman and the horse were in the suburbs. The police searched and investigated the area and the place they were last spotted, but the two were nowhere to be found. Since they didn't have any other clues, they chose to talk to the people at the races again. Most people were still at the racing area. The races went on as planned. People, on the other hand, were skeptical, as they thought Matthew was also involved somehow. The young man began to lose hope, so nobody wanted to help him and all the people were suspicious. Then something strange took place. Someone stomped on Matthew so hard that he lost his balance and fell to the ground. As the man helped him stand up, Matthew felt something slip into his hand. The unknown but nice man told Matthew he was sorry when they both got up. He then quickly left. He stood still when he opened the note and read the message. "Meet me behind the stables in 5 minutes," it said on the note. "Do not call the police." Matthew didn't know the man, but he didn't seem dangerous, so he told the officer that he had to make a call and needed some space. Then he ran quickly to the stables where the strange man was already there waiting for him. Matthew needed answers very badly, but the man told him to slow down and listen to what he has to say. The man told Matthew that he was the one who took the girl to the races, so it looks like the girl was walking along the road hoping to find a ride to the races. The man agreed to drive her there since he was already going there. The man only knew that because they didn't talk much on the way there. Because of two things, he didn't want the cops to get involved. He didn't trust the cops at first. Second, he didn't want to be a part of the case. He didn't want to stress out, but he still felt it was important to tell them. When Matthew got back to the cops, he told them what he had learned and made it clear that the source didn't want to be named. A very important thing is that the man told Matthew which way the girl was going. This alone helped them figure out she might have been coming from a nearby farm. Matthew and the cops went to check this place together. The farm was so well organized and beautiful it almost looked like a dreamy place to live. Matthew and the police officers got out of the car. They knew they didn't have much evidence and that it would be tough to argue with the farm owner if he didn't want to help. But there was Phantom, his horse, walking free in the farm along other horses. But on their way to the grounds, they saw a group of young people, probably in their 20s, walking around the yard. Matthew then saw the girl with them. The girl looked just as surprised as Matthew did when she saw them coming. She knew she couldn't get away, even though she was probably scared, so she stood her ground and faced the guys. They started asking the girl questions right away. A guy and a woman in their 80s came running out of the main farm building at the same time. They didn't seem as nice as the girl, so they asked what they were doing with their daughter in their property. Finally, they settled down enough to talk. There was a police officer who advised that they all go to a nearby picnic table and talk about what had just happened. It was important to them that the girl had a chance to explain. Matthew noticed that this farm was actually a place where horses could get better. These older people and their kids took care of horses and made sure they had a good life. The horses were mostly healthy and strong, but some were getting older and close to the end of their lives. Some of them were even sold to farmers and other to people. Matthew didn't know that Phantom came from this farm. This was the place where he was born, and after a while he was sold. Her parents sold Phantom, but they couldn't remember to whom, as they did not know that he was racing. Matthew was the third person to own Phantom. He didn't know what the animal had done in the past. The farmer's youngest daughter, Stacy, spent a lot of time with him when he was first living on the farm, and the two became very close. Because of this, Phantom recognized her right away when she got to the races, and she recognized him too. That's why he went crazy, walked up to her, and let her ride him without any problems. They had grown up, but they never forgot about each other. Stacy accepted that the choice she made was stupid. It was a bad idea to run away with Phantom, but when the horse saw her, he ran away from the racetracks on his own. She meant for the horses to go back to the farm, but she didn't consider what would happen. By the end, Stacy knew she should have talked to Matthew and told him what was going on. As you might guess, the story moved everywhere there. Parents of Stacy were shocked when they found out what happened. They were so busy with work that they didn't even notice that Stacy had brought Phantom back. The girl had told no one about it. In the end, everything worked out. Matthew got his racehorse back and he thought about suing them, but in the end he chose not to. He was mad that he missed out on the race's possible money, but he was more amazed by Stacy and Phantom's love. He knew she was wrong because what she did was totally wrong, but in the end he understood the bond between the girl and the horse. He left her a final moment with the horse before he took him home, finally. It was an amazing moment for all the people present at the farm. What do you think about the story? Do you think horses and all other animals have feelings and emotions, and can remember their previous owners? Or is this an isolated case? Let us know what you think in the comments below, subscribe to our channel, and click the like button if you want to see more videos like this one.